And here is the writer's Almanac for Monday. It's the 29th of April, 2019. 1892, on this day, Anton Chekhov wrote a letter to his lover, Lydia Avilov. He said, "Yes, it is nice now in the country. Not only nice, but positively amazing. It's real spring. The trees are coming out. It's hot. The nightingales are singing, and the frogs are croaking in all sorts of tones. I haven't a halfpenny, but the way I look at it is this. The rich man is not he who has plenty of money, but he who has the means to live now in the luxurious surroundings given us by early spring." It's the birthday of William Randolph Hearst, San Francisco, 1863. His father acquired the San Francisco Examiner as payment for a gambling debt, and his son took it over at the age of 23 and became famous for sensationalism, or as it was called, yellow journalism. One of his writers said a Hearst newspaper is like a screaming woman running down the street with her throat cut. In 1898, Hearst sent the artist Frederick Remington to Cuba to cover the war, and Remington wrote home, "There is no war, request to be recalled," and he was told, "You furnish the pictures, I'll furnish the war." And the Hearst newspapers did their best to promulgate what came to be called the Spanish-American War. It's the birthday of the editor Robert Gottlieb, born New York City, 1931. In 1957, he was a young editor at Simon & Schuster when the company was in turmoil. Nobody seemed to be in charge. And he received a manuscript for a book called Catch 18 by Joseph Heller. Gottlieb thought it was brilliant, and he and Heller went to work on the book. Gottlieb taped pieces of the manuscript and Heller's handwritten notes all over his office walls and desk, rearranging passages of it. One day he heard that the novelist Leon Uris was about to publish a book called Mila 18, and that's how Catch 18 became Catch 22. Came out in 1961, sold more than 1 million copies. Robert Gottlieb, who said, "I have fixed more sentences than most people have read in their lives." It's the birthday of the man who said it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing, Duke Ellington, born Edward Kennedy Ellington in Washington, 1899. His father had a well-paid job as a butler. His mother dressed him in fancy clothes, and so the boy's friends gave him the nickname Duke. He taught himself to play the piano. He said, "I never had much interest in the piano until I realized that every time I played, a girl would appear on the piano bench to my left and another to my right." In the 1930s, Ellington's band toured Europe. They were joyfully received in France, the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. His autobiography was Music is My Mistress, in which he said jazz is a good barometer of freedom. In its beginnings, the United States spawned certain ideals of freedom and independence, through which eventually jazz was evolved. And the music is so free that many people say it is the only unhampered, unhindered expression of complete freedom yet produced in this country. Here's a poem by Margaret Hassey, Country Music Every Time. In every song there's a little story of a love and the myriad ways it can go wrong. It can go wrong as she stands in the kitchen frying eggs. It can go wrong as he's driving truck through slick black nights down highways too long to dream about. It can go wrong for a strike breaker or a stargazer. It can break up with a word, a blow, a night spent alone over a TV show, a menu, a baby who comes, or one who was only dreamed about. Love, the country singer insists, is the only thing worth anything. The heart, like a rock in the sand, the waves in human song, break over it, over it. Country Music Every Time, a poem by Margaret Hassey, from Stars Above, Stars Below, reissued by Noden Press and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.
Happy National Poetry Month. I'm Hayden Saunier, and some of my poems have recently been featured on the Writer's Almanac. If you appreciate discovering new poetry through this program, please consider donating to the Writer's Almanac today. The link to donate is in the email newsletter, which you can sign up for at garrisonkeeler.com/subscribe.